Okay, so Lindsey is so obedient. Like, there was one time we were in the library and she had a cutie orange, and I was like, she had just peeled it, and I was like, you should shove that whole thing in your mouth. And she immediately does. Like, that's the first reaction, is just like, okay, yes, just the whole thing.
So we always laugh when we're together, but most of the laughing probably is when she's making fun of me, actually. And that's probably what she'd say all the memories are from.
The memory or the funny freaking time we were at like the water park. And then we were waiting in line for like forever, but we were like, me and Tanis were being dorks. And we're like, our big guy, do we trust him?
And she realizes she has an entire cutie orange in her mouth. She can't just like spit it back out. But as soon as she starts biting down, the juices are just running down her face, and we're both crying.
We were talking about squeezing stuff, but we said squoze. So we were all like rolling around on the carpet saying squoze to each other.
I was crying from laughter. I don't know exactly what her cheers were from. Probably laughter, but, you know.
I remember her cracking up when I fell at the wedding. I mean, she was concerned, obviously, but she thought it was hilarious. And then the second time, which is more vivid, is when we were having like a barbecue or something in the backyard of Amanda's house. And I go to enter Amanda's house to get something, and I don't realize the screen is up, and so I just face plant into the screen. And I just remember turning around and seeing Lindsey just buckled over in laughter.
We were doing ministering interviews, and Lindsey was like looking around, and she was like, does anybody know somebody named Mackenzie?
So we were at least this is the one that comes to mind. We were at Burger King, and it was either my mom or one of my brothers went to go do something, like get ketchup, and they came back to sit at the table, and they ate for a minute and then tried to drink their drink, and they kept trying, and they're like, something is freaking wrong with my drink. And they finally pulled up their straw, and she had tied it in a knot at the bottom, and Lindsey was like exploding with giggles, and it was hilarious.
Probably that she was constantly tying the straws.
And my mother-in-law, Jamie, was like, I literally have no idea who that is. Like, who's Mackenzie? And she's like looking around. And I was like, Jamie, I was like, that's me. That's, hello, right here. And Lindsey just busted out laughing. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, that is your mother-in-law, isn't it? I was like, definitely is. Definitely is.
Like, laying on the love seat with her computer. Will you close the window for me? And it's literally like she could probably reach up. All she had to do was sit up and then just close it and then lay back down. She would have been fine. But I was rude about that, but I don't regret it.
Me and Ashley were always assigned to like gather laundry around the house for everyone. So we'd be Lindsey's. We'd gather laundry for everyone. And most people were really grateful to not have their own laundry being gathered. But Lindsey, at least in those days, was not a morning person.
Do you remember that time, the story of when I hid her wallet in the freezer?
So me and Ashley were always terrified to see who was gonna get Lindsey's room. Like, rock, paper, scissors. No! Like whoever has to go in.
It's when we went to Balmarais. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I can't remember. But I think we were all getting ready to leave, and I think you had gone to like the bathroom or something. So Lindsey was there like getting everything ready, and it just started like downpouring, and Kaylee started like screaming, and so I picked her up and Adeline and like took off, and then I think Kinsey and River like took us off, so poor Lindsey was just left there with the kids and all the stuff. And luckily I think Matt was there, and I just like saw them like run up, and I'm sure Lizzie doesn't find it funny.
It had been a couple days that it had been in the freezer. I figured she would have found it by then, or would have asked before then. Like, how do you go 3 days without your wallet?
When we were in Bakersfield, and there were some power issues, and the lights went off, and it was in the summer, and it was really hot, and it sucked. And then Lindsey said, you know what would be nice is if we had a mobile fan that we could plug into the wall. That way when the power went out, we could still have some air conditioning.
Having a banana phone?
Having a what?
Banana phone.
A banana phone. All right, that's a good one.
And I remember one day I lost and I tried to go in, and and I was so careful. I was like sneaking, like had my socks on, and I like barely opened the door, and it looked all clear. And then when I crept in, and then you woke me up, and then she kneed me in my crotch and like fell over. I had like her huge pile of laundry, just like crying on the ground because I lost the rock paper scissors match.
But there were lots of times where Olivia would just do something kind of crazy, and Lindsay's response was just hilarious. So she's like, "Oh, that's my girl," or what?
Laundry, yeah, and that was me and Ashley's cross the bear.
So it's ongoing. It's her in games.
That when you and Lindsay play board games,
obviously the whole do you have any wheat? That one's really funny because like I felt like me and Lindsay were like, what the heck? And
usually board games get sent across the room, and I've always just thought that's really funny. Your relationship is such that you can flip the board game and smile and walk away.
I ran into a pole like while walking or something.
I thought we were super competitive, and I don't know, but she's just, her puns, I just love that she gets our sense of humor.
Anytime Lindsay and I are on the same page and Brayden is completely out of the loop, it's really funny.
Mine, it was like my 15th birthday. We were going in the drive-thru to get a drink, and the guy like opened up the window and said something to her, and she said, "Yep," so confidently. And then I was like, "What'd they say?" She said, "I have no idea." So we were like, "I guess we'll see what he brings us."
She takes care of us.
Lindsay's best quality, in my opinion, would have to be her thoughtfulness. She's always thinking of others. One story that I kind of have with that is I remember when we were younger and like texting just came out, and like none of us had it. My parents weren't, they weren't gonna get it for us or everything. And I remember Lindsay, I don't know how she started a job or something, but she paid for all of us to get texting, like all the siblings, which was like a big deal. That was really cool for us.
Oh, that's also an easy one. That she is happy for others no matter what. Like, even I just remember her always being happy for every pregnancy that I ever had, even though she struggles, or you guys struggle with infertility.
Yeah, I would say her humor. Like, she just like looks at life through a lens of humor.
Friendly and like welcoming. Yes, because I feel like she has a way of making everyone feel just like comfortable being themselves in every situation. Just like.
My favorite thing about Lindsay is that she has a bigger heart than anybody else that I know. Her best quality is that she loves and cares about people more than anybody else out there.
Oh, this one's easy to answer. Lindsay is a fantastic listener.
Because Lindsay's always been very selfless and very like in tune with the people around her, and she can kind of parse out what people need without necessarily having to ask.
And I would say that she's a very good host and just a fun person to be around. But when we visited, it was just she made it really fun.
Empathy, sympathy. And I know it's all it's like this all-encompassing characteristic.
Yeah, and Aubrey was coming home, and me and Lindsay were leaving, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Aubrey, like, how's it going?" And like kept on walking, and Lindsay immediately stopped. She's like, "Aubrey, what's wrong?" Like, she just knew immediately. And Aubrey like looked normal, like she didn't look like she was upset or anything, and Lindsay just knew, and I was like, all right, I just need to watch and learn, I guess.
Well, I think Lindsay has lots of great qualities, but one of them would be that she's a really good, like, non-judgmental listener. Like,
first thing that came to my mind was that she's super giving.
Just how understanding she is.
I'd probably say that she's supportive as her best quality.
But I think of her as being empathetic, and I think of her as having social grace and courage. And so I don't know which one to pick. So
I think her best quality is her ability to relate to people and to be empathetic towards people.
So I see a lot of grit and determination in her.
This is going to kind of sound a little funny and selfish, but I would say she reminds me a lot of me.
I was gonna say her communication. I love that.
She is a listener. She's always listening. You can talk for hours and she'll listen. She'll remember the details. And she's just a big emotional comfort for a lot of people. So she should be a therapist.
That she knows how to laugh. That she knows how to take the mickey out of other people and also laugh at herself. She's always so much fun to be around. Like, I've never once left an interaction at y'all's place with Lindsey, or just like with Lindsey anywhere, feeling like not even upset or just like meh. I always leave happy because she's just knows how to make fun of other things and also herself, and she just makes everything fun.
Determination. Like, I don't see much standing in the way of Lindsey. Like, if she's going to be your friend, she's going to be your advocate. If she feels strongly about something, she'll let you know. If she wants to accomplish something, she'll accomplish something.
Oh, just how empathetic, sympathetic, caring, intuitive that she is. Like, all of those things into one thing.
I love Lindsey as a mom. I tell her all the time that she is like my #1 influencer as a mom, and I want to be just like her, because I just think she talks to your kids in like such a kind way, and she just loves them. Like, in everything that she does, you can just tell that she loves them. But like in everything that she does, she's like so real with what she does. So like, she's very realistic with like, this is what motherhood is like, this is how it is, and like, it's awesome, but it's also hard. And I just appreciate that, because I feel like a lot of times people are just like, everything's perfect, everything's great, like nothing ever happens or goes wrong. And so I just think she just, like, you can see the unconditional love that she has for all of your kids, and she just is so good at showing them that and being real. So I just appreciate that.
Maybe it would be mind control. I would say like she would have like a mind control, either her abilities or a device that she could just control people with to do, like, I don't know, not stupid stuff. Oh wait, no, it has to be evil.
To do stupid stuff.
To do stupid stuff.
Probably doing something to mess with people's eating. That's like where she like does it the most. Whether she's slapping pizza out of your hand or tying knots in people's straws.
She would be the stroller. You'll say, what's a stroller?
Yeah, what is that?
If that's what her name would be, she would be the supervillain that goes around tying knots in people's straws.
I was gonna say invisibility, and her plot would be tying everyone's straws.
I feel like it'd be something, her evil plot would just be like to not destroy, but to, I guess, put a kink in someone's meal. Swapping the sugar for salt. I don't know. That seems like that would be her.
I would say it would be trash talk is her superpower, and her evil plot would be to make everyone rage quit.
Okay, it's definitely something around food, okay?
Something to do with queso.
Their super plan.
Super plan, yeah.
Just to trash talk him so hard everyone flips the table.
She's the only person that gets queso for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Going off for yours.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Her plot is to steal all of the best ingredients in the world or something to make like the ultimate whatever it is that she's happening to make, and she's stealing it from other, like her superpower is she can sniff it out basically and steal it from other people. Like as they're about to eat it or whatever, she just like finds the best meal and like it's hers now.
Her superpower would be minor inconveniences on people. She'd have the power to curse people with minor inconveniences. She would find it hilarious. It's like your socks would always be wet, like they'd always step in something wet, or if you ever stubbed your toe, it would always be your pinky. She would love to have the power of cursing you with minor inconveniences.
And then her plot would be to always be there to witness it.
Yes! Like, and that would be it. She doesn't need, like, that's where she would get her fulfillment. It wouldn't necessarily be this big scheme. It would be like the little fulfillment of everyday, like, misery that she would see.
Oh gosh. She could come up with some super good evil plots. That's scary to think of. So I think her superpower would be to read minds.
I know I've heard that she likes the movie The Proposal, so her superpower would be to be able to control all the TVs everywhere, so to make everyone watch The Proposal every year.
I would say her superpower would be to win every game she plays.
It would be to eliminate any competition.
And her evil plot would be to play you at every game, make you feel like you're gonna win, and then just you lose.
Lindsay's evil superpower would be to force people to tell her their secrets.
So she's super good at painting. So her superpower would be that she could paint anything she wanted, and whatever it was, it could come to life. So she would paint like all these things, and then whatever she painted would become a reality. And so then that's how she would like destroy the world or do whatever super villainy thing she wanted to do with all of her creations that she painted.
Okay, and her supervillain name would be the color crimson.
And as for how she would use that, it would start out relatively minor and innocent, where she's forcing people to spill their secrets in games and things. And so she'd start winning that, or just ruining people's lives that way.
And then she would just say to you after that, but you still love me, right?
Inconveniences.
Forgetting to start the dryer.
Forgetting
not
to start the
starting
timer for the
dishwasher.
oven.
Yeah.
Or like the dog peeing right on your shoes.
If she was a supervillain, I figured she would still have control over plants, and then she would just put every single like flower shop out of business. She'd just ruin them all across the globe except for hers, and set up like a global like monopoly on plant life.
Maybe her superpower would be making it so that she can just target a person and make their socks wet at any given moment of the day to inconvenience them.
That would be her superpower.
Your kid's wetting the diaper as soon as you change it.
Or like if it's a boy, as soon as you take the diaper off,
They
that
pee
was
on
on
you.
you.
To shove everybody inside of one house that's very hard to get out of.
Yeah, that would be her evil plan. Okay.
Oh, streetwear shoes are very expensive, so maybe she would find people wearing streetwear shoes, make their socks wet, ruin their shoes, and they have to buy new shoes, and she would own a streetwear shoe company and just keep growing it that way.
Like color, play, hang out, talk, watch movies, lots of things.
Okay. I really enjoyed hiking with her when we hiked.
One of my favorite things is to shop with her.
I mean, back to the glory days, we had a lot of fun watching this was pre-child days, watching our bachelor marathons. Those were always fun.
I don't know. Try to go toe to toe with her in retorts and cleverness. I think that's our general thing to do.
I like when we always get together and she always makes her I don't know, what do you call it, the fruit pizza. So whenever we're doing get-togethers, she will set up the game, she'll get the fruit pizza. So I would just say like family gatherings with Lindsey is probably my favorite. She always, sets things up and makes it fun.
I like to swim or hike with her.
Favorite thing to do? That one's easy. Playing games. Lindsay's the Game Master 10,000. I love playing games with Lindsay. I like that she will razz you too.
And something I would love to do with her is just play games.
Play board games when you're involved.
Oh, but games by far.
I think, playing games.
It's like chatting with Lindsay, because eventually we both poke fun at other people or each other, and so it's just really fun to talk to her.
I like talking with her.
Oh, for me, it's chat.
How would I put it specifically? It would mainly just be like playing board games and like just chatting about stuff.
Well, I've really enjoyed like all of our girls' nights and stuff. That's been really fun, just like hanging out. Currently, it's just going to Chick-fil-A and letting our kids run in the play area or going to a park and talking. I just love listening to her.
My favorite thing to talk. I love talking with her, which is why we talk a lot.
Being moms together. I would say like my favorite memories with her were always just hanging out, talking, whether we were going to Sonic and just talking, or like hanging out after Mutual, or hanging out in your living room. Like those are always my favorite memories.
I love just talking with Lindsay.
My favorite thing to do with Lindsay is really any outdoor activity, but really any activity that we do together is just a lot of fun.
Probably just talk.
You have anything else you want to tell Mom for her birthday?
I love you. You're the best mom in the world. And I think you should take a day off for kids and let Dad take care of the kids.
I think she agrees with that.
To you. Heart.